We're ready to face the situation. And, at the end of the day, the tariff is borne by the consumer, not by the producer. So the full impact will be borne by U.S. clients.
U.S. President Donald Trump has threatened to impose a 25% tariff on everything imported to the U.S. from Canada, starting February 1st. He also told the World Economic Forum Thursday that the U.S. doesn't need Canadian oil, gas, lumber, and more. Canadian and Quebec industries like the aluminum sector are preparing for an inevitable market shift.
Now, in terms of impact, the U.S. will end up paying 25% more for aluminium, which means an increase that could be all the way up to about $1,000 a ton more.
Quebec produces roughly 90% of Canada's aluminum, putting Canada as the fourth largest producer of primary aluminum in the world. CEO of Aluminium Association of Canada, Jean Simard, says with this threat, the market could shift abroad.
You will have, through time, a shift in logistics where metal will come from further away to come in because it's not subject to a 25% tariff when it comes in from the Middle East, from the statements that we heard. And we will avoid a 25% tariff by shifting our products all the way to Europe.
Simard says plans have been made through a council with 50 members across different industrial sectors to analyze logistics and the impacts. Though the threat is days away, Professor Sable Ray at McGill University says Trump's tactic could be a bravado move, saying a supply chain reconfiguration is imminent.
Supply chain configuration has to happen. And indeed, even if the impact is not severe, Canada need to think about diversifying its supply chain, basically. Canada knows even if it doesn't happen again in 2 years, again, this might arise. So it needs to start thinking about that, how can I diversify?
As we go through time, the longer it lasts, the worse it gets.
The Canadian government said it would impose retaliatory tariffs of its own on U.S. goods entering Canada. Quebec Premier François Legault says the province's economy could be entering a tough transition period if the threat is real.
There has to be, government has to do something about manufacturing. It needs to take very proactive steps to bring manufacturing and the related supply chain and so on back.
Simard encourages politicians and the public to come together and have a common front amid this potential crisis, reminding that both countries could suffer.
If you know someone in the U.S., reach out. Tell them it's going to be bad for all of us, but mostly it's going to impact them very early on, and it's going to be a devastating impact.
In Montreal, Tehosterihens Deer, City News.